This is 99% Craps.
Hard 10, hard 10. Here's the number.
I'll take the full odds on the 10, 200 on the hard way. The limit on all the numbers, 250 on the 11. Thank you very much.
Say, you played this game before.
Just once.
Welcome to the Red Eye Gamblers podcast. High above the second largest city, west of the Mississippi. Two chronic craps players, talking craps, playing craps, thinking craps. This is 99% Craps.
Coming up on 99% Craps, gambling on Thanksgiving in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday craps sessions. Playing mostly on the new Shoot to Win craps table. Trip reports, strategies played, casino restrictions. But first, here comes the rain. Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020, episode 26. The Red Eye Gamblers present 99% Craps. Well, all right. I guess this will be a little different. It is raining as I'm driving home, and I'm on my way back from Thanksgiving with the Lake Charles casinos. Was at the Golden Nugget for Wednesday night, and then LeBare's for Thursday night. And now it is about 6 o'clock, and I'm heading home. And there just happens to be a little bit of rain, so that's going to sound interesting. So maybe this will work, maybe it won't. I'll try to make it quick and see if I can do this when the roads are flat and there's not a lot of rain going on. So anyway, had a really good time. The casino was slow like I was expecting. So I was actually planning on going to the casino on Thanksgiving because I usually go to the casino on Thanksgiving, and everybody's with their family, and they're usually not at the casino in the morning and the afternoon, and that was quite the case today. In addition, I think Louisiana put stricter rules in, and so I think they limited the casino down to 25%. They had every other machine turned off in both casinos, and I'm pretty sure the governor made them do that. What that did, though, was table games ended up going to 3 chairs. They pulled the chairs so there could only be 3 chairs. The craps table itself, they still don't have dividers, so I was seeing 4 to an end, so 8 to a table still, except for in the morning. Then in the morning it was slower and didn't have quite so many people, and they were doing 3 aside. And so played a little bit of regular craps. Didn't really have a couple of great sessions, and then that usually messes you up because I had several 0.7s out, and so that was not very good, especially when you're max odds or doing heavy odds on your pass line bet, and then you also have 2 or 3 numbers bet. You 0.7 out, and you're down a good $80 at least, and then you do that 3 times, and then you're down a third of your session bankroll, and then all of a sudden you've got to play differently or stop and take a break and start over. And so I did a little bit of all of that, but the Shoot to Win table really was where I was doing the best. Let's talk about Wednesday night at LeBare's. I was playing on the Shoot to Win table, and come out 7s were doing really, really well, and the horn was hitting. And it seemed like I was going back and forth in the rhythm that I needed to go in. It was pretty cool. I got there around 5 and checked into the hotel and pretty much got immediately on the shoot to win table. Like I had mentioned before, there must be restrictions going on in Lake Charles in Louisiana because not only did they have every other slot machine and video poker machine off, they also had every other terminal at the shoot to win table off. So instead of having 10 people at the table, they only had 5. So on either side of you was nobody. So they had even more space, which was even more encouraging. And so I was pretty much feeling incredibly safe because nobody was around me at all. And then the people that were wearing that were not wearing masks were walking around and other places, and I really didn't have to worry about people congregating around me because nobody really was playing on the table, or nobody was crowding around it like a normal table. So it was cool. I dug it, and that all being said, with only 5 people around the table, I was able to shoot the dice a lot more often. So that was kind of nice. So yeah, so with 5 people at the table, I was able to shoot the dice more often, and we actually had a pretty good table going on. Everybody was shooting pretty well. I had most of the times I could shoot more than 8, and then after that, sometimes I would be in the teens, and I think a couple of times I got into the 20s, but I don't know that I hit 30s this time around. But I was fairly satisfied with my rolling. I was probably more satisfied with my betting strategy on other people. I really did a good job of kind of working my way with house money going forward. And so, even though I brought a decent bankroll, I think had good money management and was strategic on how I was betting. And pretty much it depended on who was shooting, what point, if it was their first point or not. And then basically they had to prove themselves to me. I wasn't really raising my bets blindly. They had to hit it before I raised it. And usually they had to hit it twice. So anyway, all my little scenarios, were working more often than not. So I had a pretty good time. They all kind of blended together. I had a session before dinner on Wednesday. Then I think I made it back to the tables around midnight, and then played until about 3:30 in the morning. And that was a lot of fun. Did pretty good. I want to say there were several good shooters, but I was drinking a lot because it was, Thanksgiving Eve, and I had nothing to do other than get up in the morning and play more craps. So I was, playing until about 3:30, and I think that session from midnight until 3:30, I ended up being up about 500. So that was a good evening, and then I didn't worry about getting up early because I was up late, but I still made it out to the casino about 8 in the morning on Thanksgiving. And 8 in the morning on Thanksgiving is pretty empty. Although there was a lot of staff, they were doing their cleaning and all those kind of things. But the cool thing was the shoot to win table was open in the morning, and there was only one other player there. And so it was me and him, and we basically just went back and forth shooting. And I was doing pretty well, just slow rolling, doing a $18 6 and 8, and then raising both to 30 if one of them hit. And so it was going to $30 6 and 8. And then the other bet that I was doing, which was hitting in Lake Charles, I noticed the 10s and 4s were hitting these last couple of days, and so I do notice that every once in a while at Lake Charles, and so then I would start with the 4 and 10. Okay, when I was playing the 4 and 10, if the 4 and 10 one of them would hit, then basically that hit would pay for my bets that were out there, minus $1, so to speak. Because if I had 10 out there, it would pay, 18, and so I was basically only down $2. And so, for $20 bet, you get 18 back. That's basically paid for. If it would hit again, then you get another 18, and now you're up. And with that 18, then I would take the 5 and 9. Now I've got the 4 and 10 and the 5 and 9 playing with house money. And then I would wait for them to hit a couple of times, and then would turn them off or leave them on. Sometimes I would get the 6 and 8 while I was out there. But those are the kind of things that I was doing, was basically starting with sisters, the 4 and 10, the 5 and 9. Well, I wasn't doing the 5 and 9 much. I was doing the 4 and 10 or the 6 and 8. 6 and 8 I was doing 18 each, raising to 30 each, and then the 4 and 10 I was making those hit twice and then opening up to the 5 and 9 and then the 4 and 10. And if the 5 and 9 started hitting, I'd raise those to 15, and then once they hit at 15, then I would take the 6 or 8. One of them, not both of them. And they were working. I mean, I was able to crawl up with, little risk and all house money, and, making, $25, $50 jumps. The key would be is to, turn off your bets so you don't lose the money, the house money that's out there. Because once you start, 10 on the 4 and 10, that's 20, and then 15 on the 5 and 9, that's 30 plus 20, that's 50. So you've got 50 at risk. Even if you've paid for the bets, you still have $50 more you could put in your pocket. So, even though, let's say it's house money, you can still take that as $50 you won on this shooter and start all over again. You just have to decide how you want to play. And so either you want to play with house money and try to get more, or you do a per shooter goal. And, I was going back and forth between those kind of goals and having fun. The shoot to win table is incredibly comfortable with the chair, and, being able to make a bet and not get ridiculed by the dealer, or, it's like you can go from making $60 bets to $10 bets. And before I would feel, like a little bit of shame, kind of embarrassed that I would go and be that low roller when I was trying to be appear to be a big roller. And now, when your bets are on, then you're earning comps. When they're off, you're not. So, and then it's not an average bet. It is what it is. So, if you're going from 60 and then going from 10, you're only getting that 10, comp stuff. So, you definitely can make better comps at the real table, because they're just making an assumption and an average of what you're doing on your bets. But with the shoot to win table, it's all in the computer, so they know specifically how much to give you and for how long. So I still don't know, how the time works out. But anyway, live and learn. So the chairs were real good. I really enjoyed playing. It was nice because you didn't get fatigued. So, playing from midnight to 3:30 in the morning, or, playing these long sessions, it's not as hard on your body as it used to be. So, there's a different strategy to be had, playing for, however long you wanted to go. Basically, I was playing from noon until about 6 again. I could play, I could easily play 8 hours, with, bathroom breaks and not being hungry. So it's easy. You can do it. It's just a matter of then the strategy of how are you going to play for, your goal has to be a little bit of time frame, and then it's got to be a goal per shooter, or because now, I mean, if you're just going to say you want to win 20% of your bankroll, well, then you're not going to be there for a long time. I think there's just a whole new strategy to be made when you're going to be playing long term, playing for more than a couple hours at a table. I think your goals can be really different. I think they can be real different. So I'm gonna have to practice.
We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
I'm thinking I can definitely come out for sure in the mornings and the early afternoon. I think the tables are really not crowded. Even though it was a holiday, I could tell that your weekday days, your weekday mornings are going to be empty. I think your weekend mornings are too. So I think there's opportunity late night, and then I think there's opportunity in the morning and early afternoon. And so I'm going to try to probably come back out during those times, whatever seems to work out best. And then also keep an eye on COVID and the numbers. I think a lot of people went to Thanksgiving with their families and traveled and stuff like that. And so I think I might have to wait a couple of weeks and see what the numbers, see if there's another spike. If there's a spike, then I probably won't come out for another 2-3 weeks. But then we're going to get into Christmas, and then I've got a whole schedule around Christmas that I can do. Christmas is similar to Thanksgiving, where it's not going to be that crowded because families are with, people are with their families, they're not at the casino. The only people that are at casinos are basically the ones not going to their families. So it'll be another different deal, but I think mornings and daytime will be fine for me to come back out here and do my gambling. So that'll probably be what I do, maybe the weekend before Christmas, and then, during Christmas, holidays, and then I'll probably stay the hell away for New Year's, knowing that everybody's going to come out here for New Year's. So I think I'm going to do that. Maybe come on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning, just do a day trip. But I'm definitely digging the shoot to win tables. And the key now is if there's only 5 spots, then you've got to get out here early, because then you'll just stay here the whole time. You'll stay as long as you can stay, because there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. So, but didn't really have too many. The thing with COVID now is, there's not a lot of talking going on between people. If you know each other, then that's one thing. But the chit chat is not happening because everybody's wearing a mask and you're having a hard time hearing people. So that's just kind of one of those things where it's just different. And so the craps table is different. The shoot to win table is different. You're separated from other people. You are kind of on your own. I'm really thinking about it. It could be a headphone thing, like you're playing poker. Just put your headphones in and just play on the computer, because you don't really have to interact with the dealer much, other than making sure that you get the dice when you want to get the dice. So I will say that I was really enjoying shooting, and I shot from a couple of different places. I shot from stick left 1, I shot from the hook, and I shot from straight out. And each of those spaces, the dice reacted a little differently. Well, my apologies again for the rain. I'm not sure how this is going to sound until I start doing the editing, so I feel bad the quality's not great and I still have to put it out. But if it is, I promise I'll make it up to you, and I'll try to do a better job not going when the weather's bad. So. All right, so I guess recap. I think I already did Wednesday. So Thursday, Thanksgiving was empty. I went to the shoot to win table. There was just one person there. So we basically went back and forth. And I played for about an hour. And within an hour, I was playing positive. And I think within an hour, I was up $300. And then took a break and walked around. And then basically came back and bought in my normal amount. And then basically played for another couple hours, and then had to check out of the hotel, or actually an hour and a half, and then had to check out of the hotel. And then I ended up getting another night I stayed at the Golden Nugget on Wednesday, and I was going to stay at the at L'Auberge on Thursday. But I couldn't check in until 4, so I had basically from 11 to 4 that I was without a room. But that's okay, I had a chair at the shoot to win table. And so after I checked out and put everything in my car, I made it back to the shoot to win table, I think around 11:30. And then basically stayed there until 5 and had another blast. Although I did not win anything, I just broke even. But playing 5 hours, breaking even, and then I was drinking again, so that was nice. So basically drank for free. And yeah, so it was fun. I enjoyed Thanksgiving afternoon, and there was probably maybe 4 people at the table. There was always one open spot, but that was exactly what I was looking for, was time when nobody was there. So then after I checked into the hotel at around 5 o'clock, I came back down, and sure enough, the casino was getting busy. It was like everybody finished their turkey with their relatives, and then they were out to find out what to do. And so it looked like they were getting more and more crowded, even though the occupancy was supposed to be down and the machines were running at 50% for sure. So I didn't see a spot at the table, and then it was getting crowded, so I just decided to go back to the room, and actually I had dinner, and then went back to the room and decided to call it an early night and get up early in the morning on Friday. So anyway, so Thursday night, cut it short, stayed in the room, watched some TV, and then got up at 7 in the morning and went back out to see what was going on. And Friday morning after Thanksgiving was dead, of course, just like you would think. It was so dead though. There was only one craps table working at the Golden Nugget and only one craps table working at L'Auberge, and the shoot to win table was closed. I was very disappointed, but they didn't have people, so I understand. So I didn't know what to do, so I decided to play at the regular craps table, $15 craps table. There was only 2 people at the table, so I was able to socially distance, and I just had a shitty roll. I couldn't catch anything, so I rolled 3 times, and I didn't really bet on anybody else. I think I bet the minimum, like I was 6 and 8. Yeah, I was doing a minimum 6 and 8 on other people, and then for me, I was doing I did $15 for my pass line bet, and then I did the tall and small for $5 each, and then I rolled, hit a number, and then the following roll was a 7. Once I hit the point, then I put my bets up, and I decided to put 3 bets inside, minimum. So $15. I think it was $51 or so, and then I put double odds. So I had $30 on the pass line for my odds and my 15, So, you know, I had a little less than $100 out there, and 0.7 out. So 7 right after I hit that point. And so that kind of that was a gut punch, because now I'm down 100, and it was my first roll. So, you know, 2 other rollers, then it comes back to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it this time. Well, this time, instead of putting 15 down, I put 25 down. And I put a dollar bet for the dealers. So I've got 26 on the line, and because I've got 25, I decided, and I told you guys I've been wanting to do the ATS. So here I am getting ready to roll. I've had good rolls, you know, Wednesday and Thursday, so why shouldn't I have a good roll on Friday on the real table? And so second roll couldn't be as bad as my 0.7 out. So second roll, I decided to put $25 down and do a 10-5-10 on the bonus. You know, if you 7 out, then you lose that bonus, but then you win on the 25 on your pass line. So that's why I always equal or less the bonus bet to your pass line bet, so that if you ever hit a come out 7, you'll be able to replenish it. So $25 and then $25 on the ATS, so that's $50 there. And so I want to say I probably hit an 8 or a 6, one of the two. And then I put double odds, so I got $50 behind my 25 on the pass line. And then because I'm at the $25 level, and I think I hit the 6 or 8, so that's the point. Well, so the other 6 or 8, I ended up put $30 on, and then $15, 5 and 9. So again, I'm extended over there. You know, I've got about $100 out there again. Actually, a little more now that I've got $75 on the pass line with odds. So this time I was able to actually hit 2 numbers. It did not hit the 6 or the 8. I think it probably hit the 5 or 9, or it probably hit the 4 and 10, which I wasn't on. And then it hit a 7. So that one was, the first one was 0.7 out, this one was 0.7 out. So that was another, now I'm down 250, you know, so that just hurts. So big gut punch, and then now I haven't even been at the craps table for 30 minutes, and I'm down 250. You know, I'm down a quarter of my bankroll, and then, you know, goes around, couple shooters, and I'm depressed. I'm heartbroken. I'm not feeling well, so I'm not putting my big bets out there. You know, I'm putting $18, 6 and 8, and then you know, that shooter ends up 7ing out, ends up being a cold table, and I wait for the roll to get back to me. I lost my 25 the last time. Now this time I'm just going to go back to my 15, but it'll kill me if I don't go on the ATS and I end up hitting the ATS. So I've got to go on the ATS. So this time I just do 5 on the tall and 5 on the small, and then have $15 pass line, and then I end up, I think, hitting a 5, and then, you know, I go back out with an $18 6 and 8, and then a $10 9, and then I do double odds on my 15, so I've got $30 odds, and this time I 0.7 out, so I didn't even get any of that. So now I'm down another 100, so now I'm down 350 with less than an hour, and I decided to take a break. And I should have taken it, well, I don't know. I mean, I only rolled 3 times, but that's that. So take a break. I ended up being down, you know, 350, 400. And actually, I think it was 500. I was down 500. So down 50%. And so then I decided to take a break and walk around. And it's still too early, and the shoot to win isn't open, so there's nothing I can do there. And so I just basically walk around and mope, because I'm not in a good mood and I'm down. So I walk around, and let's see, then I think that was basically from 7:30 to 8:30. and I'm walking around, and I decided to try one more. No, actually I didn't. I wanted to try one more time on a real craps table, but now they were all getting full to having 3 people on either side. So 6 people at the regular craps table during the day, and then you're getting too close to people, so I didn't really want to. So walked around a little more, and around 10:30, somewhere around there, they opened up the shoot to win table, and so I was able to get on that table. And then things started happening for me. Was able to capitalize on a couple of come out 7s and a couple of horn bets that I had some money on, and started turning things around. But was in it for the long haul, so was not playing 3 bets on other people, was now playing 1 bet or 2 bets on people, so just the 8 or just the 6 or the 4 and 10, and then was just slow rolling that way, because I was so skittish from losing earlier in the morning. I didn't roll for a while because I just didn't want to touch the dice, because I was still felt that I wasn't doing the good thing. So let's see, so started playing around 10:30, and I guess I left around 6, so I've been there the whole time, and was just playing my different little 2-person, 2-bet strategies to play with house money, and then start going with house money and making bets. So was able to slowly climb my way back, and ended up being plus 750 for today, or for this last session that I was at the shoot to win. But so I basically was up 250, minus the 500 that I lost earlier, and then broke even yesterday basically. So I think I got to double check my math, and but I think I'm either up just a little bit or even for the trip. So for the amount of hours that I had in, I felt like I did pretty good. I mean, I know I did good. I mean, I'll have to look at it, but I mean, I did at least 8 hours a day, at least. So, but you break even for 8 hours. That's great. I was hoping to do better, but this morning just when you point 7 out, there's not much you can do. If the dice just aren't in your favor, then there's not much you can do. And it's just not. It wasn't my morning, But it's not like I wasn't going to play. I was here to play. But I think, after losing 3 in a row, it was right for me to take a break. So anyway, and then I really enjoyed playing the shoot to win table with 5 people there instead of 10. There was plenty of social distancing, so if they keep that going on, I'm definitely going back and playing that route. Until I'm just going to keep playing it. I think there's ways for me to practice.
We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
With my dice, I think I mentioned before that I shot from every position, or basically every position on one side of the table, and the dice were behaving differently depending on which spot you were throwing from. So I think there's some dice sets that will work better from different positions. So I need to pay attention to that. But I was having a good time. I felt comfortable. I was able to get over on the table, and I was able to at least square my shoulders. I wasn't able to square my body, but I was able to square my shoulders. And then I felt like my grip was really good, and that my toss was good. I was hitting my landing spot where I wanted to, and later this afternoon, my dice were doing well, and then basically Wednesday late evening, or in the middle of the night, it was good. So I think I will definitely be coming back out. I'm going to watch the COVID numbers because I'm looking for, my table has 5 seats, and basically I've got to get there early enough so I can get a seat. Because if you show late, you're not gonna get a seat. And then I think they had a waiting list, or they were trying to do a waiting list, but you really had to just hover and stand over there the whole time, and that would be really boring. So I don't know that I would do that, but I think that's the strategy going forward: is play early, spend the night, play early. Don't worry about playing, basically from 5 o'clock until midnight. It's going to be too crowded for me to play. So basically from midnight to 5 p.m. is the times that I can play. And I think, at some point between 2 and 6 a.m., the shoot to win table will close, unless people are still at it and they just don't close it. I'll have to play overnight and see what time they close it at. Because Wednesday night and then Thursday morning it never closed. Because when I went back Thursday morning, the table was still running. Where Friday, after Thanksgiving, at 7 in the morning, it wasn't open. So I think when it's slow, it's not going to be open. But because Thanksgiving was basically a weekend kind of thing, Wednesday night, Thursday was basically like a Friday night. So they kept it going, and then sure enough, people started showing up around 5 o'clock. So I felt a little better about people wearing masks. There were still plenty of people, and I say plenty, but I think people are starting to get worried. They're starting to wear their masks a little more. But I'm seeing a bunch of people still acting the wrong way with them. I saw some people sharing drinks, and that kind of, that's not something you should probably be doing. But no, all the workers seem to be doing the right things. They're all doing hand sanitizers. Oh, the one thing I noticed when I was playing on the real craps table, it looks like they are actually, one of the things I didn't want to do is I didn't want to play with chips, because then I was going to have to go back to the cashier and turn them in. The other thing is, the chips are dirty. People always touch the chips. But lo and behold, I think they put sanitizer on. They were washing the chips because the chips were wet with something. I think they probably had hand sanitizer, or they were wiping them off with something. But that was nice to know. It was interesting that that the chips were actually clean. So that I felt good there. But and then the cashier in the morning wasn't too bad because the traffic wasn't bad. So I'd play again at a regular craps table as long as it was early and it was just a couple people at the table. Then I might do it. So maybe if I spend the night again at the casino, and then I can get up early in the morning and be by myself at the table, or have like a half hour to throw by myself at the table, I might do that. I'd really like to hit that ATS, but wasn't going to happen this trip. But I think going forward, that might be the way to do it. If I spend the night, is to play, the regular craps table in the morning when there's nobody there. Well, I think that's going to be it. I think we'll cut this one short because the rain just keeps to come on and off. So I want to say thank you for listening. We'll see about getting back out here pretty shortly. I'm doing better at putting my stuff on Instagram and Facebook, so if you guys want to go there and see some pictures when I'm out and about at the casino, I think I'm starting to do that a little better. So the 99 for 99% for Instagram is it with a D, 9D9. So that might help you, but it's also in our in the podcast notes in there, so you can find that too, or just do a quick search. But yeah, check out some pictures there, and pictures of the shoot to win table. And then next time I go out, I'll try to take some video because I think they'll let me. So anyway, and that'll do it for us, for me. That'll do it for me. Want you to take care out there, be safe, and until next time, cheers. The Red Eye Gamblers, thank you for your time, and hope you got a little something out of this week's podcast.
Here's to rolling 7s on the come out, and may your 6s and 8s always be hard. Cheers.